Hey everyone, it's Jason from Game-Rave. Also, I fuck it every time. Hey all, it's Jason from GameRave.com, otherwise known as Danger Boy. This is GameRaveTV. So after having moved into the new GameRave de Casa and setting things up, the game room is essentially as good as it's going to get until I get new shelves and so forth. And everyone has been just emailing me and Twittering and Facebooking wanting to see the collection and so forth. So I figured since I'll probably be swamped and dead tired with holiday retail coming up, I would finally show you guys, the Game Rave collection, or at least half of it. So let's have at it. I should not be this nervous. I'm just showing you my stuff. Alright guys, obviously I'm more or less known for my PlayStation collection, but I do happily fanboy with other stuff. As I posted in my Twitter account, this is actually my Sega wall. This is a complete Sega CD collection. I think I'm missing one or two variants, that's about it. This is a complete Sega Saturn collection, all 250 games, most variants, and I think I'm missing one demo. Now, for those of you who are looking at it going, man, that's really small, there should be more games, there actually are. The Sega CD section is actually 2 rows deep. And then when you get down to Saturn is actually 3 rows deep. So you got this row, and then that whole row in the back. Like I said, hoping to have custom shelves designed and made to hold everything. But right now it's doing its job. Now when I say complete collection, I mean complete. I have all 3 Magic Knight Ray Earth variants. I've got the Daytona Netlink edition. You name it, it's in there. I think I'm down to like the last 11 variants and then the Sega Screams 2 demo disc, and I'm pretty much set for the Saturn. Down below, those are all my Neo Geo MVS carts, and just like Sega Saturn, it's 1 row, 2 row, and 3 rows back, so there's a lot of shuffling going on. Metal Slug. And then hiding in the corner over here, this would be my Neo Geo CD collection. Now, while I have always stated that I stay away from imports and so forth, the Neo Geo CD is actually the only system I collect exclusively for import. And the important thing here is that when you throw in a Japanese game, if you have an American Neo Geo CD, it actually comes up in English with all the text and so forth, because SNK had already programmed the ROMs, be it the CD or the cartridge, to have all languages and so forth. So, good old American Neo Geo CD and Japanese games play in America. It also means with a full Japanese set, I will now have all the missing games that the US never got. Alright, this is actually my little, fanboy stand. This was just a temporary fix. I actually found it at Savers down the street for $10, and it worked perfectly. I've got my US Neo Geo, my Consolized MVS, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, and the most beautiful add-on ever, version 1 Sega CD. Oh, I love that little bastard. Now, what's cool is you can't see it from here, and it's just all spaghetti wires back there. I actually had a friend modify this so it's S-video output, and on the Sharp TV, the CRT that I have, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Final Fight looks amazing, Flink looks amazing, just really good stuff. Ooh, my lid's open. Oddly enough, these guys are both modified to play Japanese imports, including the RAM card support, and I never bought an import for either of them. So at least I'm prepared. I'm good to go. For those that have no idea what I'm talking about when I mentioned Consolized MVS, that is this baby. This is actually an arcade board, straight out of a Neo Geo MVS. It's a 2-cartridge memory card slot. And what happened was the fine folks at, I believe, Jamination X converted it into a console. So I can use arcade cartridges on a home TV. This particular modification has component, S-video, AV out. There's a BIOS chip in here, so I can actually turn on the home options, even though it's an arcade cartridge, and I can switch the region and so forth. Also, there is controls in here, so I can access the dip switches, which means I have it on free play, even if it's the home version. If you ever hear me say I need a memory card for my PlayStation, shoot me. Also, really cool, now I noticed it. This is my very first memory card ever. back when I was heavily into Japanese animation back in the day. That's actually a character from the Ranma 1/2 series, and if you don't know what that is, you're that much better off not knowing. But yeah, this memory card right here is probably about 19 years old. Alright guys, this is actually my game room game station. That is a Sharp CRT component television. Absolutely gorgeous. My parents actually bought this for my grandma years ago, and after she passed away, it was the one thing I adopted from her house and so forth. Absolutely beautiful. And then this is a PlayStation, one of many that I have. What makes this one pretty is, I don't know if this is going to help or not, basically, it still has the original AV inputs. I've got Monster Audio running out through it, and then that particular cord right there isn't AV. It's actually SCART from Europe. The SCART cable is running through a SCART converter, and basically what this does is it uploads the much better SCART picture instead of AV to this and outputs component to that. And the picture is absolutely just gorgeous. In fact, I'll probably show you guys later on in the video. That is actually the replacement model of a Sony Dream Theater system. I actually won this as part of being the biggest PlayStation fan back in 2004, and you see the speakers all around. Once I get the better shelving, I can actually spread the speakers further out, and it'll be awesome. Drawer full of all shenanigans and controllers. You know, Street Fighter Anniversary, more Neo Geo stuff. Strolling Bowling, childhood hero. Man, this is such a shaky cam. I apologize in advance. All right, so we're going to go from left to right. This is my PlayStation demo little roller guy. Basically in here are all the different demos. Those are like the jam packs they got from the subscriptions. This is all the OPM demo discs in the custom cases I made with the custom artwork. You can actually download that artwork off the website. Just go under the PlayStation, I think it's called Archives on my website. And then what's neat is, what you didn't see before, is that if you print up all the labels that we printed, when the slim CDs are lined up, it actually forms a giant picture of all the most famous PlayStation 1 characters. I got a bunch of trade demos in there, some of the bigger demos that didn't fit below. And then, and yes, that was the case and not me. All the rest of the demos, all alphabetical, you know, for their variants, etc. Just a whole lot of good stuff. This guy, no speaker. This is actually my, for lack of a better term, current gen drawer. We've got a whole bunch of 360 games in there. We've got all the collector's edition boxes. Bought this guy for $1, worth every penny. Well, not really, but still. Awesome series. All right. And then my little portable collection, all 3DS, DS, etc. What's cool is in Activision Anthology, there is a homebrew selection on there, and one of the homebrew games is called Climber 5. I actually did the artwork for it. It was a contest on AtariAge.com, so I actually have my artwork in a video game. If you actually bought Climber 5 from AtariAge, it came with an instruction manual, and I did the background story on it. God, that was years ago. Alright, separating the current gen and the demos from the jewel cases is actually my Dreamcast and Oddities collection. Sad confession, I used to try and go for everything. At one point, I was actually going to try and go for a complete collection, but I ended up selling it off because Jason Wilson's already practically there, and no human should have that many Imagine games. So I've got some really cool Wii games. If you have a Wii and you don't own Zack and Wiki, you need to own this game. Just memorize this cover and go buy it right now. It's one of the greatest games you'll ever play. It's basically a puzzle game where it breaks the fourth wall, or fourth wall of just like helping you and so forth. It's pretty cool. My whittled down PS2 collection, I was about 400 games in, going for a complete set, and then I was like, you know what? I really don't need 23 hockey games, at least. 23 more hockey games. Oh, PlayStation. But yeah, just your typical collections and some good stuff. Here we have a complete Dreamcast set. And the Dreamcast collection is one of my favorite just because I know for the OCD collectors out there, this library drives them nuts. Because if you have an alphabetical, true alphabetical, all the colors are mixed in. And it's just like, I prefer it original release, second gen release, and then the greatest hits. I still have to alphabetize them though. There is actually something pretty cool. I rescued this guy from the same savers I got that table from, and I actually have the Game Shark hacking parallel port inside of it. This poor thing's running a Windows 95. It's hysterical. So once I can get this guy hooked up to that PlayStation, I can casually hack codes or update code lists and so forth as I play games and do them for Game-Rave. Here's some cool stuff. Alright guys, for some reason the light keeps turning on, but we'll leave it at that. These are just binders and envelopes full of stuff. This is both personal and fanboy, so I'll start with the personal stuff first. In these envelopes right here, for those that have no idea, even though I've mentioned it a couple times, Game-Rave actually started off as a fanzine. And what a fanzine was is instead of having a cool internet website, you basically Xeroxed a magazine. And I actually sat at a Office Depot once a month and basically hand assembled a 40-page magazine every month and sent them out to stores to be sold. And we actually had subscribers. We actually had a subscriber in Japan and Canada. It's pretty cool. Just give you a typical idea. You had your cover page. We did 3-man reviews. We had previews and so forth. This was back in the day when the internet still hadn't really caught on as far as websites go, or review sites, and magazines were still actually had a chance in the world. I loved doing this. This was an absolute just labor of love. There was one issue where I basically started working on the assembly of the issue, and I mean the actual like editing and photoshopping and InDesign type stuff. When a radio DJ was just finishing his set, and I didn't finish the issue until he started his set the next morning, which means I'd been up for 24 straight hours. By the way. Now, for those of you that are tech junkies, here is where we get to the fun stuff. And by fun stuff, I mean the stuff I really don't understand. A couple of auctions and some connections later, I have technical documents for the PlayStation 1. We're talking like the actual, like, here's the book you would have been given as soon as you were licensed to make PlayStation games. There's damn near everything, and I have tried reading this stuff, and I literally have no idea what's going on. I actually, when I was growing up in grade school, I was actually at a Catholic school, St. Thomas More, and one of my teachers realized I liked video games a lot, and she actually tried showing me these 321 Contact magazines, and I tried programming for a day, and it was like, I can't do this. And then over here, we actually have some more cool stuff. This is actually really cool, especially from my standpoint, because I have a graphic designer background. This is the source book for all the development and actual designs for like the instruction manuals, the CD artwork, how much you could order at one time, how much the orders cost, and so forth. I think this is the one that has the... Oh yeah, check this out. This is the coolest frickin' floppy disk. I have the actual packaging templates for the long boxes. I could make my own long boxes. How freaking cool is that? Well, for the artwork, not the actual cases. We really need the cases. But yeah, I love that thing. One of these days I'll hook up my USB disk drive and get those guys off and just stare at them and so forth. And then here we actually have more of the runtime library programming books that developers would have been given and so forth. It's all the transistors and resistors and teraflops and megaflops and gigawatts and all that crazy cool stuff. But yeah, one of these days I'll just sit down and read these and pretend like I know what I'm doing and maybe make something with the ROSA. Alright, and now it's time for the main show. Alright guys, this one's going to get a little bit shaky cam on us because I'm going to step backwards, so bear with me on this one. This right here is one of my grails. Like, you have no idea how long I spent trying to get this damn thing. This is the Midnight Blue PlayStation controller, and this was actually a follow-up prize to the Midnight Blue 100 million anniversary PlayStation system. I'm still trying to track that puppy down, but this is actually more rare because it was the follow-up prize. And a good old Kevin Butler, love you. But yeah, that being said, I chose to start on this to show off the jewel cases. Now here's where it's going to get shaky cam. I'm going to take a few steps back so you can get this all in. As I trip over the chair, nose die. But yeah, that is the PlayStation 1 collection in jewel case form. You're looking at roughly 750 times 2 plus all the ones up top, so about 1,600 games just right there, both variant and otherwise. Complete variant collection for the Lunars and Arclad and so forth. Obviously, if you've seen Game-Rave, you've seen I've already put those up there. All the Alindras, all the gorgeous, gorgeous Alindras. Beautiful stuff. Good old hand puppet for Galen. The unreleased long box for Space Hulk. There's about 4 or 5 of these out there. I'm truly willing to bet and believe that these were actually sent out as a pre-order case. I mean, it's honestly got a real thing. If there was a game and a real size instruction manual in there, this would be an actual variant. But it was never published as an actual release. They went with a jewel case instead. Speaking of long boxes, once again, doubled up all the long boxes and the variants and so forth. Good old Beach Ball Rayman, a couple of variants over there. All the greatest hits variants, and as usual, doubled up. Those poor guys back there. All the triple cases and double cases. Some replacement ones I bought that I got better condition of. Just some random debris here over here. Lightspan. All the various teachers' books, but I'm still missing some. But one of these days I'll have to sit down and figure out which ones I'm missing. Good old Grinch variant. This is actually pretty cool. I made this cover. If you guys have ever done research on this, they actually have emulators for game systems to play on the PlayStation. This disc has ROMs and an emulator so I can play NES games on the PlayStation. How crazy is that? You do need a modified PlayStation or a way to swap discs, but it's actually crazy. You can use a memory card and everything to store your data. A whole bunch of big box games. I actually did all the light gun games, set back like this so I could save some space. But yeah, the Superstar, all those good guys. And this beautifully bubble wrapped and protected from all the stuff on top of it is actually my Elemental Gearbolt Assassin's case with the gold gun gun, the red memory card in this case. Now, I left on that, and I said how I was going to show you half the room, because here's the other half, guys. Well, hidden. Well, not really. But this is all the stuff I still have to unpack and sort out. This is actually just all my, good old Nintendo, Super Nintendo, stuff like that. My PlayStation kiosk TV, the kiosk is over there. I just actually need the stand, and it's complete, but this is the actual counter model. All my complete TurboGrafx set, Magical Chase, all that good stuff. Random magazines. Funny story there, actually. My complete Laser Active collection. The laser discs are somewhere around here somewhere. That giant stack of boxes to the ceiling of the floor, those are full of nothing but PlayStation systems, boxed. Either complete boxed or just loose, demo kits or debuggers and so forth. That very top box, however, and that little standard there, Mass Effect collection. Love the Mass Effect. Oh my god. Seriously, I have like 1,000 hours in Mass Effect 3, and that's not even that's like 300 multiplayer only. I just love that game. Speaking of magazines, I can't show you the closet because it's black, but inside that closet, I am not lying, there is roughly 26 to 30 magazine boxes full of roughly 25 years of magazines. And what's really cool is I adopted them from a friend of mine, and I spent the better half of a month or two sorting them. And if you were to open the things, they would actually be numerical by year, and all properly dated and so forth. But what was awesome from a graphic designer standpoint was that he had a lot of duplicate magazines. And rather than get rid of them or try and sell them off in lots and so forth, being that I'm a graphic designer, I have been ever so slowly trimming the advertisements from all these magazines from years and years ago, and I'll be properly archiving them. In fact, actually, and I'm going to apologize for the shaky cam. Over here, I can give you an example of how I've been doing it. What's been really neat is that besides, cataloging the ad with the name of the game and so forth, and stuff like that. And yes, I've actually been keeping track of the variant ads because I'm sick. In doing that, I've actually been finding all these ads for games that never got released. Like this is Necrodome. That was supposed to be out for the PlayStation and the computer. I think it hit the computer, but it didn't hit the PlayStation. So that's been really cool. I've actually got about 10 to 11 unreleased game ads. They're just really cool. Hi guys, and it's real quick. I promised I'd show you the CRT mode, the SCART. Like I said, this is a SCART going into a component out to the component TV. This is the text in Street Fighter Alpha 1. Look at how crisp that is. And like I said, this is just a component CRT. It's not a flat screen, but I wanted to show you just how beautiful the games can look. Especially with showing crispness, it's always better to show a 2D game because then you can see the pixel artwork and so forth. Just absolutely gorgeous. Let me get to the loading screen here. But yeah, check this out. You got beautiful separation for the transparencies. You can see all the individual pixels. Like, just so nice. Very, very good. The game just looks phenomenal. Oddly enough, Alpha 1 was selected for a reason. Street Fighter Alpha was actually the first game I ever bought for the PlayStation. And I actually went out to buy the system for the game and found out that the game, I was off a week. It was actually coming out the week later. So I ended up buying my PlayStation and ended up playing nothing but the demo disc for a week straight. I am a master at the first Wipeout track. But yeah, just a gorgeous looking TV. Obviously, you wouldn't see the lines in real life. That's from the recording. But yeah, just if you don't have one, like if you just have flat screens, for God's sakes, go to a Goodwill, spend the $2 or $2, and get yourself a component CRT. Just absolutely gorgeous. And there you have it, guys. That is the Game-Rave game room. Hopefully, as soon as I can get some better lighting in here, at least, probably just go buy another lamp. We will start recording in here, and we'll have the jewel cases or what have you as the background. Seriously, I have been waiting for this moment to have this Game-Rave cave for a long time, and I want you guys to enjoy as much as I do. So that being said, this is the official Game-Rave TV episode, which means next week's video will be our pause mode. So I will see you guys then. Bring the coffee. Take care, you guys. If you have any questions, let me know.